If your dog curls up next to you at night, watches your every move, or refuses to eat unless you're close by, this isn't just affection. It's something deeper, something primal. You're not just their human. In their heart, you are their mother. It might sound strange at first, especially if you've never had children of your own, or if your kids are all grown now. But research in animal behavior and neuroscience is uncovering something extraordinary. Dogs, especially female dogs, are capable of forming maternal-style bonds with their chosen human. And when that human is you, their brain literally rewires to love, protect, and even suffer for you, the same way a mother would for her child. This isn't just a feel-good story. Every sign we're about to explore is backed by science. But more importantly, each one reflects the kind of deep, loyal, emotional connection many of us, especially as we get older, wish we had more of. Because after 60, life shifts. Children move away, friends grow fewer. But that dog sitting at your feet? That may be the purest love you'll ever know. And today, you're going to learn how to recognize it. We'll start with the most overlooked but powerful sign of all. One that begins not with a bark or a wag, but with a simple, steady gaze. And by the time we reach sign number 6, you may find yourself remembering a love you thought you'd lost. Let's begin. Before we get to the signs themselves, we need to take a moment to understand why this bond runs so deep, especially if your dog is female. You see, the connection between a mother and her offspring isn't just emotional. It's biological. And in female dogs, that biology is wired for nurturing, for protection, for unconditional love. It's what scientists call the maternal drive, and it's powered by some of the most powerful chemicals known to the brain. One of those chemicals is oxytocin, the same hormone that floods a woman's body when she holds her newborn for the first time. But here's the part that might surprise you. When your female dog looks into your eyes, gently lays her paw on your chest, or sleeps next to you with a sigh, her brain is releasing that exact same hormone. It's not just affection. It's maternal bonding. Veterinarians and neuroscientists have found that female dogs often display pseudo-pregnancy, a phenomenon where their body mimics the state of motherhood, even when they haven't had puppies. During this time, their hormones trigger behaviors like gathering toys, guarding spaces, or becoming deeply attached to a human, usually just one. It's not confusion, it's in instinct. And if she's chosen you, she's not just treating you like her friend, she's treating you like her pup. For those of us in our 60s or beyond who've seen life's joys and losses, that kind of bond is something to treasure. Because it means that even in the quietest moments, when you're reading, resting, or just sitting with your thoughts, you are never truly alone. She's there, watching, loving, waiting for your next move, like a mother watches over her child. So now, let's step into the first layer of this connection. It's subtle. It's easy to miss. But once you recognize it, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Let's begin with the quiet, often unnoticed signals that your female dog is not just loyal, but biologically bonded to you as if you were her own. You may have noticed your dog watching you, really watching you. Not just a glance, but a steady, quiet gaze that lingers for several seconds. This isn't just admiration, it's something much more profound. When your dog holds your gaze for more than 3 seconds, her brain releases oxytocin, the exact same hormone that floods a mother's system when she locks eyes with her newborn. And here's the key. Research shows this happens far more frequently in female dogs, especially those that have experienced maternal cycles, whether they've had puppies or not. For older adults especially, who may be living alone or feeling emotionally distant from family, this kind of eye contact isn't just comforting, it's healing. Because when she looks at you, she doesn't see a roommate or a pet owner. She sees her person, her pup, her reason for being. Have you ever been sitting quietly, maybe watching TV or resting in bed, and your dog places her paw gently on your chest? She doesn't ask for anything. She just holds it there. This gesture has deep roots in mother-dog behavior. Puppies place their paws on their mother's chest to feel her heartbeat, to know she's there, alive, steady. Female dogs retain this instinct. When she puts her paw on your chest, she's doing the same thing, checking that you're okay, listening to your rhythm, grounding herself in your presence. And if she lays her head down afterward, still keeping her paw in place, that's no accident. Studies have shown that this position can actually synchronize heart rates between dog and human. In older adults, where feelings of isolation can sometimes creep in, this silent, rhythmic connection is a powerful reminder that your life still pulses with meaning for someone else. Let's talk about sleep, because your dog's sleeping habits say more about her heart than you might realize. If she positions herself where she can see both you and the door, night after night, it's no coincidence. In nature, only mother animals sleep this way, half alert, always guarding their young. Female dogs instinctively take on this role, even in safe domestic spaces. And when she does this for you, she's sacrificing her own comfort to become your silent protector. What's even more touching, many older female dogs, even those with arthritis or mobility issues, will still force themselves into this position if they sense you're emotionally or physically vulnerable. It's not just loyalty. It's maternal instinct refusing to rest until you're safe. You place her bowl down, but she won't eat, not until you sit nearby, or at least stay within sight. Maybe she even brings her bowl closer to your chair, nudging it against your feet. What's going on here? In the wild, puppies only eat when their mother is present. Her presence signals safety. For female dogs with maternal bonding patterns, that instinct doesn't vanish. If she won't eat without you, it's not stubbornness. It's a deep-seated biological trigger telling her, "Mom's not here. I can't eat." In fact, studies have shown that some dogs will go for days refusing food if separated from their primary attachment figure. It's heartbreaking, but it shows just how deep that bond runs. And if you've ever worried that her behavior is unhealthy, just remember, to her, you are the reason food feels safe. Now this one's more familiar. You're sitting quietly, and she walks over and licks your face. But not the excited, sloppy kisses. No, this is slower, intentional. Her eyes meet yours. She might even pause between each lick. This isn't play. This is ritual. In mother-puppy behavior, face licking is how young dogs stimulate attention, bond with mom, and show submission. When your female dog does this to you, she's performing the exact same action. And her brain, like yours, is releasing oxytocin, strengthening that invisible thread between you. What's more, studies from Azabu University show that this act activates the same emotional circuitry in both species. Your dog is literally engaging the same parts of her brain she would use with her own pups. And she doesn't do this to just anyone. This sacred gesture is reserved only for the one she's claimed as her own. Let's say you're having a rough day. Maybe you're sitting in silence, your energy low, you're breathing slower than usual. And then, she's there. Not barking, not pawing, just matching your stillness. This is emotional mirroring, and it's one of the clearest signs that your female dog sees herself as your caretaker. Studies using heart rate monitors show that dogs who are strongly bonded to a person will begin to match their breathing and heart rhythm within 30 seconds. Think about that. She's not just sensing your sadness, she's adjusting her physiology to align with yours, just like a mother calming her child with presence alone. For older adults especially, this is more than comforting. It's life-giving. It's someone noticing you, feeling you, and responding without a single word. Ever wondered why she steals your socks or curls up on your favorite sweater the moment you leave the room? This isn't mischief. It's biology. Female dogs rely on scent to form attachments. In mother-puppy bonding, the scent of the mother is a lifeline. When your dog surrounds herself with your scent, especially when you're not home, she's recreating the emotional safety of having you near. And here's something remarkable. Dogs can detect your scent on fabric up to 2 weeks old. For her, those worn clothes aren't just laundry. They're her security blanket. They're mom. And if she hoards them, sleeps in the middle of them, even defends them from others, she's not acting out. She's holding on to you the only way she knows how. These 7 signs may seem simple on the surface, but each one is rooted in the biology of maternal love. Your female dog isn't just showing affection. She's living out her nature. And if you've been chosen as the focus of that instinct, the connection you share is unlike anything else on Earth. Coming up next, we'll explore the signs that go beyond biology, into the realm of emotion, empathy, and devotion so strong it can change your life. So far, we've explored how your female dog's biology, her hormones, instincts, and brain chemistry align to form a maternal bond with you. But what about her heart? What about those moments that feel less like instinct and more like empathy? This next section dives into the emotional language she uses, the silent ways she comforts, and how she lets you know you're never truly alone. Pain isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet ache, physical or emotional, that lingers without words. But somehow, she always knows. When you're not feeling well, your dog doesn't need to be called. She arrives. She sits close. Maybe she gently places her head on your knee or rests her body against yours without asking for attention. That's not coincidence. That's empathy. One viewer shared how, after falling down the stairs, her dog came over silently, placed a paw on her chest, and waited. No barking, no panic, just quiet presence until she could stand again. That's not something you can teach. That's a soul-deep response from a creature who senses your need even before you acknowledge it yourself. For many older adults, this is the companionship that matters most, the kind that simply shows up when it counts. No words necessary. If you've ever laughed about your dog following you into the bathroom or waiting just outside the door, there's more to it than clinginess. In dog psychology, this behavior is rooted in what's known as proximity attachment. But in maternal terms, it's more than that. A mother dog doesn't let her puppies stray far, not until she knows they're strong enough to be on their own. Your dog isn't guarding the door. She's guarding you. For older people living alone, this constant presence may seem amusing at first, but it can be deeply reassuring. She's making sure you're safe, even during your most private moments. And let's be honest, how many others in your life are doing that? Her presence isn't invasive, it's protective. And it says, "You're my responsibility now." You're relaxing in the evening, maybe reading or watching a familiar movie, and your dog lets out a soft huff, or a gentle grumble, or that deep, slow sigh that seems to vibrate with contentment. These aren't random noises. Researchers call them attachment vocalizations, the same types of sounds puppies make when they're nursing, safe, and deeply connected to their mother. But here's what's amazing. Your dog doesn't make those sounds around everyone. Just you. Studies from the University of Sussex show that dogs develop special vocal tones, even frequency ranges, for their most trusted humans. It's a secret language, a kind of emotional Morse code that says, "This is home. This is peace." And if you've ever sighed back, that's not just mimicry. That's connection. Two beings, years apart in age and species, communicating in comfort. Many people think a dog rolling onto her back is asking for a belly rub. But sometimes, especially with female dogs, there's something much deeper at play. When she lies beside you, belly exposed, eyes soft, and lets out a long, contented sigh, that's not playfulness. That's surrender. In the animal kingdom, exposing the belly is the ultimate act of trust. And when she does this without seeking attention, she's placing herself completely in your care. A study from the University of Portsmouth showed that dogs' stress hormones drop by nearly 25% within 30 seconds of exposing their bellies near their bonded human. Even more fascinating, their brain patterns in that state mirror those of human infants being cradled by their mothers. For those of us over 60 who may carry stress we don't always speak about, grief, loneliness, or even physical pain, that kind of trust is a powerful gift. She's not just comfortable with you, she's at peace because of you. These four signs go beyond biology. They speak to emotional intelligence, to mutual healing, to a kind of quiet companionship that becomes more precious with time. Your dog isn't just living with you. She's living for you, in ways only those who've loved deeply can understand. And next, we'll look at two final signs, the ones that show just how far she'll go to protect the one she loves most. At this point, we've seen how your female dog expresses love, through instinct, empathy, and emotional closeness. But sometimes, love takes a stronger form, a quieter kind of courage. Now we step into the signs that go beyond bonding and enter the realm of sacrifice. These are the behaviors that reveal just how fiercely she's willing to stand between you and harm, no matter the cost. Have you ever noticed how your dog chooses her resting spots, not randomly, but with purpose? When you're cooking, she places herself near the doorway. When you're sleeping, she might lie just a few feet from the bed, angled toward the hallway. And when you're in the bathroom, she's posted right outside the door. This is no accident. In pack behavior, the maternal alpha places herself in positions of alertness, ready to sense threats before they arrive. Your dog is doing the same, instinctively scanning and protecting the perimeter. But what's striking is that she does this only for one person: you. Behaviorists call this protective positioning, and it's one of the clearest indicators that she sees herself not as your companion, but as your guardian. Not because she was trained to, but because she chose to. And for older adults, especially those who live alone, this silent watchfulness becomes something priceless. You may not notice it until you really think about it, but she's been watching over you this whole time. Perhaps the most moving behavior of all is this. When your dog, especially if she's small or elderly, puts herself between you and a perceived threat, without hesitation, even when she's afraid. You might have experienced it when a stranger approached too fast, or during a loud argument, or even when someone tried to hug you too suddenly. She didn't bark out of playfulness, she barked out of duty. This isn't typical pack hierarchy. A dog following basic instinct will often back away from danger. But when a female dog views you as her pup, something changes. She will stand her ground. Even if she's a 10-pound terrier facing a dog 3 times her size, she won't move. She'll shake, she'll growl, but she'll stay between you and danger. This is maternal protection in its rawest form. And when you witness it, it can stop you in your tracks, because that kind of courage only comes from love. Coming up next, we'll explore one of the rarest signs of all. A behavior so unique, scientists are still trying to understand it, and it might just leave you speechless. We've seen love through eyes, through touch, through silence, and through bravery. But what if I told you there's one more sign, one so rare, so deeply tied to maternal instinct, that most people overlook it entirely? It doesn't involve barking, guarding, or cuddling. It involves a single object, offered to you hesitantly, like a sacred gift. Have you ever noticed your dog bringing you her favorite toy, not to play, but to simply lay it down at your feet and step back? That moment matters more than you might think. In mother-puppy relationships, canine mothers will present chewed food, comfort items, or even sheltering materials to help their young feel safe. But here's the twist. Female dogs without pups, especially those experiencing pseudo-pregnancy, will often transfer this caregiving instinct to their human. When she offers you her toy, particularly with hesitation, holding it in her mouth, looking into your eyes, then slowly releasing it, she's performing what behaviorists now call a maternal offering. In her mind, that toy is her baby. And when she gives it to you, she's giving you her most treasured thing. It's not just sharing, it's surrender. And it means she trusts you enough to carry her heart. Now, as we approach the final sign, it's time to zoom out, to look at what all these behaviors add up to see clearly the bond that's been growing right under your nose. Let's bring it all together. When you string all of these signs together, the eye contact, the guarding, the soft sighs, and silent presence, a picture begins to emerge. This isn't just loyalty. This isn't about training. This is love of the most natural kind. The kind that doesn't ask for anything, except to be near you. Your female dog didn't stumble into this bond by chance. She chose you. Out of all the humans in her world, she decided you were worth her instincts, her rituals, her devotion. And whether you realize it or not, you've become something sacred in her eyes. You've become her pup. But as beautiful as this bond is, sometimes it can go too far. When love becomes overprotection, when anxiety replaces trust, that's what we'll explore next. Because even the purest love can have a shadow.